Hello everyone. So some days you set out to talk about certain issues and then you see something else that you just feel that you have to talk about it, and I think that's what has just happened this morning. What I was going to do the video about was totally different. But I went on Twitter and I saw something. I saw the former personal assistant to Muhammadu Buhari on social media, someone called Bashir Ahmed, did a tweet to me, and let me read out the tweet to you. And he says, "Dear Aisha Yusufu, dear Ata Aisha Yusufu," using my Twitter handle, "I want to congratulate you as you graciously agreed to release the financial statement of the Obi presidential campaign. Having gone through the summary of the statement a couple of days ago, I'm curious if it is allowed to ask questions, as there are certain lines within the statement that seemed unclear and need clarification from you." And so I did a reply to him and I said, "Mr. Bashir Ahmed, there was nothing gracious about the release of the statement of account. It was something that was a must to be done, and we did. Accountability and transparency are sacrosanct and not at the discretion of a person. Feel free to ask whatever you'd like to ask." So there's this thing, because and then there was actually another statement that someone made, and I think that was that was really apt, and I replied it, and I'm going to look for that statement right now. What did they say? So this person talked about the fact that let me look for that. So yes, I've seen that statement. He says he's not, and this is Ben Kingsley Nwashara on X. He said he's not actually used to accountability. That's why he felt you were being gracious, not knowing it's an obligation. And I said, exactly. It was an obligation that had to be done. And I think this is what many people didn't understand, even when people were talking about this. This statement that we did, we campaigned, got the funds of people, campaigned, asked for people to donate. We definitely were going to come out and do a statement. That was a must. There are no two ways about it. It's not because, oh, we are nice. No, it's a duty that had to be done. So this mentality, thinking that, oh, you've done something, the good, something. Well, no, it isn't. It's a duty, and that's what duty is all about. You have to do the right thing. You have to do what needs to be done, and that's what the statement. Even when people were coming to call me out and stuff like that, because initially when the election finished, they were like, I said, no, we have to wait till after the Supreme Court judgment. The Supreme Court judgment came, and of course, we didn't do it immediately. Every day some people will be online insulting me and whatever. I didn't mind, because I knew we were going to I knew we were going to do this. And then also, secondly, I wasn't the one that was going to do it. It was Mr. Peter Obi that was going to do it, because Mr. Peter Obi was the one who raised money. It was his campaign that people donated for. The day I run for office, if I ever run for office by the grace of God, and I'm definitely going to do a campaign. Me, I've always said, me, use my money to run for office. God forbid. I'll now, if I use my money to run, is it a business? I'll go there. I will now start replacing that money. That's the looting that normally happens now. And me, I don't have money to waste. I can't go and serve someone and be the one using my money. But anyways, if I ever run for office, definitely I'm gonna demand for I'm gonna ask people to donate to my campaign. And if they graciously do that, at the end of the day, everything has to be accounted for them. So, and for me, as being a signatory to his campaign account, and also like team lead of the team, the fundraising team, it wasn't in my duty, it wasn't in my capacity to release anything. That would be unethical. That's wrong. So he was one to do it, and we had to come together and do that. And of course, he wanted more of instead of like Zoom. Left for me, would have just done Zoom, put this here, do it online. But he wanted on where the journalists to be there, and they'll be able to ask all the questions that they needed to ask. And getting us, our schedule were all over the place. I wasn't in the country for during after Supreme Court. I wasn't in the country. I came back late January. Yeah, I wrote my mid-January, wrote my exams. After my exam, then putting everything together. Finally, that was when we had the time. Our schedule was aligned, and we worked that out. So that was done. And so it's not something, like I said earlier, there was nothing gracious about it. There was nothing like, oh, you did something, whatever it is. But of course, these are people who are not used to accountability. These are people who see when you make demand for accountability, they see it as, oh, you're trying to spite someone, you are angry at someone, you're trying to do one thing or the other, and that's the mentality that they come with. I even did Twitter space on the day that whole statement was put out, because there were some people who were said like, I'm here free, come and ask me questions. Most of them didn't come to ask those questions. I'm the kind of person, I love to be asked questions. I love to be put on my toes. I love people to hold me and to account and say do this, because for me I have nothing to hide, and now it gives me more room to explain more to you what is going on, what has happened, and stuff like that. And by the way, he was like, the statement of the Obi presidential campaign. No, that wasn't the statement of the Obi presidential campaign. What we give was the statement of the fundraising monies that were raised and what they were used for, what we used them for. That's what we give. The party itself is going to go. There's a particular statement they're also supposed to give to INEC. The party are the ones who will do that. I wasn't in charge of that. I know nothing about that. I don't know what they did, how they did, and I don't take responsibility for what I don't know anything about. But the one that I know about, I always take full responsibility with my chest. And I must tell you, even throughout that whole campaign, when we're working on this thing, some of the team members, I mean, I was such a pain. I will tell you, because I was such a stickler for, look, everything we have to, it has to follow everything. Even if it took longer time, even if it was more difficult, we had to follow the process as it was. And it was something that set different, this thing were put together on how everyone, we didn't need to know your face or anything about you for you to become a vendor. All we needed was, these are the criteria, have you met them, what are the jobs that you've done, and how are your references, are you someone who is reliable, who does job. And luckily for us, we didn't have any default. We didn't have any situation whereby we gave money to somebody to do certain things, they didn't do it. No, the only problem we had in terms of material was, I think, the wristbands. There were some materials, they weren't very good. The wristbands wearing nice, they couldn't do it very well. So we now said no, we now stopped, and it was even more a bit expensive. Then we bought another set of wristband from someone who already they had imported them from China, and their own was way cheaper. I think the other one, whether we did them for like, I'm not sure now whether it's something like, maybe we did the other one for like either 250 or 300 or 400, and this one was like one something, 100 naira or 120. The difference was so much. So we're able to get more wristbands. And that for us, even though at one time we're like, okay, conflict of interest, should we buy for this person? We did not look as if, okay, you're buying from Brewer. But at the end, on that one, we're like, we need more materials. We need more people to have those wristbands on their wrists. And the wristbands were very big. You see, they're very big. You see the picture, you see the everything. And so for us, that was a win-win. And we went along with that one. So these are some of the things I think as we go on as citizens, we have to normalize them. We have to normalize people giving account. Not that people feel, oh, why are you asking questions? No. Who the hell are you that they will not ask you questions? Who the hell am I that questions will not be asked of me? I have to be accountable. And if I don't want to be accountable to anybody, then I don't take any position or take any part and say I won't do anything. For example, when Mr. Peter Obi came to me and said, oh, he wanted me to be one of the signatories, I would have said, sorry, sir, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to be accountable to anybody. But the moment that I accepted to do that, that made me accountable to anybody, and everybody can ask me a question. Please feel free to ask me a question. I'm not one of those that feel, oh, they shouldn't ask a question. The more you ask me a question, the more I explain things to you. I don't have anything to hide, and things go on like that. And there's nothing gracious about anybody doing account. That's what needs to be done. Let me keep. Oh my goodness, I've gone off track. I thought it was still below 8 minutes. This is more than 8 minutes. So thank you so much for watching. Well done. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like. Yes, I hope I got that right.